The Head of State Summit at the Northern Corridor Integration Projects Conference held in Uganda today provided fertile ground for President Uhuru Kenyatta to once again touch base with his Ugandan counterpart, Yoweri Museveni, in a bid to have Uganda's oil pipeline pass through Kenya. But is President Kenyatta engaging in a futile quest over the pipeline issue? Well, KTN's Timothy Otieno explores.
President Uhuru Kenyatta's departure from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for a Heads of State Summit and his subsequent arrival in Uganda Saturday mid-morning was a trip loaded with diplomatic intent to have matters crude oil that have been plaguing the two nations sorted once and for all. The heads of state meeting during the 13th Northern Corridor Integration Project Summit at Uganda's Spec Resort in Munyonyo, a summit that interestingly Tanzania, the third party in the crude oil pipeline row, is not a signatory to. The summit only attracting leaders from Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, South Sudan and Ethiopia, but one that prompted Uganda leader Yoweri Museveni to once again declare his stand that the country's crude oil pipeline would be passing through the Tanga port in Tanzania.
And Uganda is set really to take off because the base is now there.
His decision believed to have been made after a consultative meeting with technocrats from both Kenya and Uganda, even though the contents of the report sanctioned by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Yoweri Museveni remains unannounced. The initial deal negotiated mid-last year should have seen Uganda's crude oil pipeline pass through Kenya, with construction beginning at Hoima district in Uganda and leading all the way to Lokicha in Turkana, ending up at the port of Lamu for exportation, a length of 1,476 kilometers. But concerns raised by France-based company Total on insecurity as well as land compensation issues in Kenya prompted Ugandan authorities to opt for the Tanzania route in a deal believed to have been crafted in October last year. The deal will have the pipeline pass from Hoima in Uganda all the way to the port of Tanga in Tanzania, a longer distance than that of Kenya, but one Tanzanian authorities believe will have the pipeline constructed faster than if the pipeline passed through Kenya. Uganda's discovery of some 6.5 billion barrels worth of oil with between 1.2 and 1.7 billion barrels recoverable has seen both Kenya and Tanzania engage in intense diplomatic lobbying to have the 400 billion shilling crude oil pipeline project pass through their country.
The heads of state stressed the need to implement the projects with a sense of urgency and resolve outstanding issues by the 14th summit.
Kenya's route seemingly abandoned in a diplomatic standoff that could see Kenya lose up to 15,000 job positions if construction was to begin at Lamu. Timothy Otieno, KTN News.